Hello, everyone. This is Patricia Shanks, and it's Studio Shanks Sundays live at 5. And I'm here on YouTube at Patricia Shanks Voice, youtube.com/Patricia Shanks Voice. And you can find me elsewhere. You can find me on Facebook. My page is Patricia Shanks Music. On Instagram, I'm Patricia_Shanks. On Twitter, I'm Studio Shanks, and I may be other places that I'm not thinking of right now. And my website is Studio Shanks, studioshanks.com. I'm sorry, I was looking at my little friend here, and I think I'm starting a little bit early, but I thought, why is his mouth moving? His mouth is moving with mine. This is what happens when you talk with your hands. So again, let's see, what time is it now? Okay, we're just about 5 straight up. So let me identify myself once more really quickly, and we'll ignore my little green friend here. I am Patricia Shanks at Studio Shanks Sundays live at 5, and this is he's distracting me. It's and he's talking. His mouth is moving. I'm not a very good puppeteer. Puppet? You're a puppet? No, I guess he is. Anyway, this is Studio Shanks Sundays live at 5. And I'm Patricia Shanks, and you can find this, should you ever choose to come back and try to find this again, at youtube.com/Patricia Shanks Voice. And then the rest of my ID was at the beginning of this whole hoo-ha. So I am being joined today by a little green friend who is going to help me with how a student should take, this is rude, how a student should take a voice lesson. And I actually didn't intend to have a frog. When I'm talking with my hands, and my hand is in the frog. So, and I have to let his legs dangle because this is a one camera shoot. I don't have any special effects. And he won't say much actually, because with one camera, unless I go away, there's not much that he can say. So I better talk with this hand. So here's my brilliant idea for the day, to go over how to and how not to take a voice lesson. Okay, so you with me? He, it, she, what? The frog is with me. So, okay, Froggy. Now let's set up a scene. All right, good. All right. So I am waiting for my student in the studio. And waiting, and what time is it? Gee, it's 15 minutes past the lesson. Wait a minute. Well, hello there, Frog. Nice of you to show up for your lesson. Now, we have just a few minutes left. Are you ready to work? Okay, well, we'll see what we can do anyway. All right, I better have him facing this way. So, okay, now, have you been practicing? Maybe not so much. Well, that's all right. We'll do some work today, and then you can do better, and you can practice this week, okay? All right, good. Okay, so let's do some vocal exercises. Well, is there a problem? Well, what's the problem? What, you can tell me. Oh, because he hasn't practiced. He's not feeling good about the vocal exercises. Well, I'm sorry, about that, but we'll see what we can do today. And again, you can practice this week and do better. All right. So ready? Ready? Okay, you're ready. All right. Well, I just played a few notes. What's the problem? What's the problem? You're feeling bad? You're feeling bad, like you can't do the exercises? Well, they're just exercises. They don't have to be perfect. This is where we work out all the little details. Okay? All right? Okay. So good. So here we go again. Ready? We'll do a little 3-note scale, okay? He's going through some kind of fits here. Okay, you don't feel good. You don't feel good about doing the exercises. All right, well, that's all right. Let's do a 5-tone descending on O. Okay, just a nice little. Okay, you're good with that one. All right, good. And what I'd like you to do is check your abdomen. Yes, that's good. Okay. Check your abdomen and see if it's really tight and stiff and tense, or if you can loosen that up a little bit so the diaphragm can descend. Okay. All right. Okay, good. All right. So go ahead and here we go, and check your diaphragm. Well, I don't hear very much coming out of you. Again, we don't have a two-camera shoot. But you didn't check. Yeah, you didn't check that. So you, you don't want to. You don't want to check that. You don't like to do that. Okay. Well, let's have you check and see if the tongue, your tongue, you froggies have that tongue that can catch flies, so I know you can release that tongue forward. Okay, so let's check under there. All right, good. So here we go again, and I don't see you checking under there. Yeah, so this is sometimes what happens is I'll ask students to do things like that to check, and for some reason they're reluctant, and I'm sure there are various reasons why. A lot of times students feel like they haven't prepared, and students feel like their exercises have to be perfect, and they don't have to be perfect. No, they don't. They don't have to be perfect. I'm getting better at the puppet thing, do you think? So they don't have to be perfect. This is where we work out some of the bugs. I said bugs. Oop, are you hungry now? Okay, this is where I work out some of the bugs. We work out the bugs, and then you take it and practice during the week. Yeah. Did I say practice? You practice during the week, and then you come back, and hopefully things are a little bit better, right? Okay, good. So you're going to change the way you're approaching your lessons a little bit, huh? Okay, super. So I don't know if I'm any good at this or not. You know, this is an on-the-fly production. What can I tell you? So, okay, now this is how you do approach a lesson. Okay, teacher is waiting. La 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 la. It's time for the lesson. Okay, okay. Hello. You're happy to be here. You really want to work today? Good. Okay, then we're going to get right to work. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is get ready to sing. Oh, you're so ready. Okay, I like that good positive attitude. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, and let's have you check your abdomen to make sure it's loose and not too tight so the diaphragm can descend when you take that. Yes, when you take that good breath, you're ahead of me. You know you're thinking you remember from last week. Okay, so take that big, good breath and check that diaphragm. And then you're letting the air out, of course. You're not going to hold your breath. No, you know better than to do that. Okay, so take a good breath, check your abdomen, and here's the scale. Good. Now, I know the frog is not singing. I can only do so much here. So, very good. Very good. You checked it. Was it loose? Do you think you could do even better, maybe make that even looser? Because sometimes we can just go a little bit further. We think something's loose or something is ready, and then there are plateaus that we hit, and then it gets better and better and better. And when we keep checking the same things, right? Good, you know. Okay, now let's have you do another exercise. This one's a little trickier, but you're good with that, right? Good, okay. This one goes fast, and it goes. Can you do it? Yeah, okay. So, so what I'm getting at is, thank you, Frog. What I'm getting at is that if you come in with a good positive attitude and do the things that the teacher is asking, and really attempt to try to understand and get the benefit of what the teacher is giving you, then you'll do well. But when you come in hesitant for some reason, or come in feeling bad because you're ill prepared, you have to leave all that stuff outside the door and come in ready to work, and just have a great time in your lesson. Your lesson is your time to express yourself. Your lesson is your time to learn and grow. And if for some reason you're not relating to a teacher, Oh, I know you relate to me. I know. I know, Frog. Thank you. So I see. Thank you. Not this one. This mouth. Yes. Not a good. I need somebody else. I'm hardly Mrs. Doubtfire or Mr. Rogers. I just have a frog on my hand. So anyway, so anyway, if you're not relating to your teacher, then either, you should hopefully you have a relationship with your teacher where you can talk to them about that and work some things out. And if it turns out that you just totally don't relate to the teacher after you give your lessons a little bit of time, a little bit of trial time, then perhaps you should move to another teacher. But do give it some time, because these things, although we live in a time where everybody wants something right now, right here today, and one of the things I always hear from students is, when they do something well, great, I wish I could do it every time, and it's after the first time they've done something really particularly wonderful, and we don't. It doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but you just keep going over the same. You just go over the same territory with the same information, and in some configuration, things start to work. And as you increase your skills and are able to understand it and do things like checking the abdomen to make sure it's not tight and getting that loose, then we move on to the next thing, and it's just a progression of subtracting and adding layers of things that do and don't work for you. So anyway, this is my little friend, my little frog, who helped me show you how to come into a lesson on time, right? And take a lesson, attempting to do the things the teacher's asking you. Be open-minded. And try to have a good time in your lesson. That is your time. If singing is your thing, love it. Now, another thing I think that happens is people feel, especially today, and I think I didn't finish a thought a moment ago, and now I can't remember what that is. I have a frog on my hand, and this is all I can do today is have a frog on my hand, I think. Another thing is that people are very aware of the cost of lessons, and I do understand that. And though I think a lot of us have very reasonable rates in today's market, it's still an expense. And if it's not something that you are for sure you can make a career out of, then it can be an extra expense. But if singing is your thing and you love singing, then it's worth it to invest in the lessons, and then invest your time in between so that you get the full benefit of your investment. The learning doesn't happen in the lesson. The lesson is where we make the little adjustments. We take our little tools and we say a little of this, a little less of that. Great, you're doing that well. Now let's move on to the next thing. But if you're not you're practicing in between, like my first little froggy friends example, right? Yeah, if you're not doing that practicing in between, then you're not getting the full benefit. And you can also become very discouraged in lessons when you're not just getting it there in the lesson. That is not where you learn. Now, another thing, and I want to reiterate this, I know I've said it in other videos, but there are voice lessons and there are voice lessons. There are song singing lessons and there are technical lessons. And I am a teacher, one of many, 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 who like to teach people how to use their voice in the most healthy way, in a way that makes a beautiful resonant acoustic sound that can be used for any style of singing. Ridding the tensions. These things just take time. Nothing happens right on the spot. But very, very often in a lesson, you will have, people do have these epiphanies, and then it's important to take that home and later that same night or the very next day try to accomplish the same thing, so that you can stick with that and then move on to the next thing. It's really hard for me not to talk with my hands. I just want you to know that. The other hand is stuck over here because this one's stuck in the frog. And I know this has been kind of silly and maybe not even as wonderful as I hoped it would be, but I just wanted to have a little bit of fun and not be too terribly serious. My original topic, which I may explore later on, in which this sort of had a little snippet of, is integrity in the voice studio, and that's integrity on the part of the teacher, integrity on the part of the student, and how that really translates to taking care of each other in a professional way and guarding and growing that professional relationship. So anyway, my little frog friend and I have this. This is another maybe a little bit of a short segment, but I need to practice, okay? And Froggy needs to practice, as we know, right? Right? See, I can't move my mouth without moving the hand. So I seriously need a puppeteer, and I need two cameras, and I need a crew. Have I mentioned that before? So anyway, thank you for listening to all of these ramblings. Again, studioshanks.com. I am a very serious teacher, but we do like to have some fun too. Like my acting teacher said, I'm serious as a heart attack because I care very much about how my students do and how they fare with their lessons. And every student is an individual, and even this one, who's definitely an individual. So thank you. I'll try to have something a little more meaty to go over next time. But if you like my froggy friend, let me know. And then Stuffin, my dog, he'll come back again sometime too, maybe. So take care and practice and keep singing and loving what you do and loving your practice and loving your singing.